Hello, Vinyl Community. This is Randy. I am back today with recent additions. It's mid-June, so I figured I would go ahead and do an update with some records that I've picked up here in the first part of June. The first one I'm going to show you is actually one that I received in May. I forgot to show it last time. This is a 7-inch single. This is the Grateful Dead, part of their ongoing series of re-releasing all their 7-inch singles that they released, back in the late 60s, early 70s. This one is on blue vinyl. The songs are Loose Lucy, U.S. Blues. All these singles have custom sleeves. So here is the illustration for U.S. Blues. You can see, here's the illustration for U.S. Blues. Shake the hand that shook the hand. Here's the illustration for Loose Lucy. I'm not sure really what that has to do with the song. Loose Lucy, she's my delight. But it's a cool picture. Yeah, so that's just part of the ongoing Grateful Dead re-release series. I won a contest. Less than 6 months in the VC, and I've already won my second contest. So I can tell you, if I enter any more contests this year, I'm going to be sure to remind the person who's doing it to delete me from the drawing, because I think 2 is plenty for 1 year. But I didn't do that in this case, and Nauman had a contest in which he included people who were members of the arts community and the vinyl community. We were asked to show some artwork. So anyway, if you watch that drawing and you're saying to yourself, no, Randy didn't win that, well, I did. Actually, it was a very exciting, extremely exciting drawing, and it happened that Mr. Finglish won. He really won for both the arts and the vinyl community, but Nauman decided he wanted to have 2 winners, I guess, so he went back and redid the drawing with his daughter, and yeah, I was just totally on the edge of my seat, and I got chosen again. So thanks very much for having the contest, Nauman, and for pulling my name out. He sent me an Amazon gift card, and I've already gotten the stuff in the mail, so I'm going to show you the records that I got with this gift card. This is King Crimson, Islands, this came with this insert. It has the words on the inside. This is, I believe that this is the European cover of this album, and I think that this was the American cover, so, I mean, I'm much happier with the European version. This record is really, yeah, it's very, almost like orchestral music. It's really has very little to do with rock and roll. I can hardly even hear any guitar on there. I've only listened to it once, just got it yesterday. But I'll go back and listen to that some more. So yeah, King Crimson. And then I got another King Crimson album. Red, which is completely different. This is really rock and roll album. You can clearly hear the guitar on here. So yeah, 2 King Crimson albums. Why did I get 2 King Crimson albums? Well, this sort of completes my collection. They released these boxes recently. They released two boxes that had, like, I think 3 or 4 albums each in them, which I would have liked to have gotten those. Jamie Cottle did. I think Jamie Cottle did an unboxing on those. I think it was Jamie. And they looked really good, but I was only missing 1 record from each. And these are the 2 that I was missing. So now I've got them. So thanks very much, Nauman, for having the contest and sending me the gift card. I was just going to show you the inner sleeves for these. Yeah, so these are the records. I think that first box included these 4 records. Court of the Crimson King, Wake of Poseidon, Lizard. I think Islands was the 4th one in there. And then the second box, I think maybe had this live album, then Lark's Tongues and Aspic, Starless and Bible Black, and the one I needed was Red. So, yeah, King Crimson collection is looking pretty good now. I have 3 of a perfect pair on cassette and B on CD. So maybe at some point in the future I'll look to getting those on vinyl. Most exciting record, I don't know if you call it exciting, but you know, one of the best ones I've gotten recently here in the month of June. Tank and the Bangas. This is, I guess this is kind of like R&B, rap. I guess you would call it that. R&B mixed with some rap and just some good vocals here. I heard about this record from Miss Lady Soul. She showed this one, and she showed it with another one, and I thought it sounded, she made it sound like it was really good. So then I went and sampled it some, and it did. It sounded great. I really liked it. So went and picked that up, and it's on green translucent vinyl. Cool inner sleeve with the words. I mean, I would, to me, the most logical things to compare this to, I guess, would be maybe Lauryn Hill, possibly, or Jill Scott. You know, a little bit of rapping type stuff, but she also sings beautifully. Some really nice songs on there. And, oh yeah, the other thing I really liked about this one is that it has Robert Glasper here on the last two of the last songs. So he's a jazz keyboardist and plays some Fender Rhodes on there. Sounds really fantastic. So yeah, Tank and the Bangas. I would highly recommend that you check out Miss Lady Soul. She actually did a follow-up to this where she went to see him live. And she recorded some of them live, and they sounded great. It's in a very small club. This cover is very cool, too. This balloon up here is, it's kind of like it's sticky. You can feel it on there. So, yeah, Tank and the Bangas. So when I was at the record store that day, I came across this Miles Davis record, Someday My Prince Will Come. I broke my own rule. When I got this record, I actually already had this on CD. I've had it for quite a long time. But I broke my own rule. I mean, two reasons. First of all, this is the cover of the CD that I got. Someday My Prince Will Come. Here's the cover of the album. So, I mean, it's kind of like with that King Crimson album. I would definitely rather have this one than this one. But then also, really, the main reason that I was able to justify that was that this is a mono pressing, the CD stereo. So, yes, I was glad to get this on mono, and sounds great. Interesting thing on here is it says Miles Davis Sextet. I've never really heard that phrase before, Miles Davis Sextet. This is with, it really is sort of a quintet there that was between the two famous quintets. This has Hank Mobley on sax. And then my understanding is that John Coltrane just came in for one song, that Someday My Prince Will Come. I think that's what I've read. So I'm not really sure why they call it a sextet. And you'll notice that also here on this CD, they don't call it sextet or quintet. They just call it Miles Davis. So I'm not sure what the record said when it first came out. I assume this is what it looked like. So great record, of course. Comes on this Columbia. While I was there at the record store that day, I also picked up this Vince Guaraldi record. I picked this up mostly just because of the cover. I really like the cover a lot. I'm a big Peanuts fan, particularly a big Snoopy fan. So I got this one. This does have Linus and Lucy on it. And all the songs have names that seem to be associated with the Peanuts, I guess the TV specials, but I really didn't recognize any of them. I guess I haven't seen them for a long time. But it's really good jazz, really good. Vince Guaraldi, I hear this on the Sirius XM jazz station occasionally, and this had just been reissued, so I got it. And Yeah, it sounds really good. The best thing about this is when I got home with it, I learned that Vince Guaraldi's the guitar player that plays on that record is Eddie Duran. So that was great. Eddie Duran sounds great on that record. This is not a new record. I've had this one for a long time. Eddie Duran, jazz guitarist. But I figured I would show you this one because he's the guy who plays on that Vince Guaraldi, and yeah, they sound really good together. I'm really enjoying that one. That is on Omnivore Records. That is a red vinyl. Sounds great. Yesterday, I went out to wash my car, and it was a beautiful day, and so I, thought to myself, I should go and do something. So I did. I went by. I remember when Eric Weinbender was here in town, and he went to a place called Vinyl Tap, which I'd never been there before. So I drove over there, found it with no problem. It's a cool place. It was pretty empty in there in the middle of the day. There was one other guy in there. So had a brew and looked at the records there. It's a cool little store. One thing was kind of puzzling to me was they had most of the records up there on one level, where you can stand and look at them, but they had the heavy metal all underneath that and jazz underneath it on the floor. So that, if you're into, I guess, mainstream records, it was no problem, but yeah, the heavy metal and jazz down on the floor. Normally that's where I would expect to see the dollar bins. But anyway, that's the way they do it there. So I found this compilation album there. Transparent Days is the name of this. This is a Rhino 2-record set. This is from 2017. It was part of their 2017. I think they were celebrating the Summer of Love in 2017. So they released a few mono records. This comes with this insert. So yeah, Transparent Days. So that's actually a West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band song. So this has them, Peanut Butter Conspiracy, Rose Garden, Tiki's. I'll just let you read the bands on here for yourself. Maybe you can read those. So yeah, this sounds really good. Another one of these Nuggets compilations. It's a gatefold sleeve. There's actually a hole there. So cool. Inner sleeve, and then the record's clear vinyl. It was very enjoyable. This one is kind of like this Nuggets compilation. I think this came out in 2004 or something. And this actually has a couple of bands that are the same on it. But most of the songs are all different. There's 2 repeats on here. Pandora's Golden Heebie-Jeebies by the Association is actually on that other Nuggets compilation, and then I think it was the Electric Prunes, Shadows, or maybe House of Glass, the Glass Family. There were a couple of repeats on the 2, but only 2. So it was cool. So it's a cool compilation. I'll have to listen to that one some more. So then I was there at Vinyl Tap. I was about ready to leave, and someone in front of me was paying. So they actually do have their dollar bins right there as you're ready to leave. So I was just sort of thumbing through there, and then third record I came across, Al Hurt. So this is the greatest tour in the world with Henri René and his orchestra. They're just doing jazz standards here. Stomping at the Savoy, Begin the Beguine, Let's Do It, Undecided. Al Hurt, trumpet player from the 1960s from New Orleans, I believe. This actually does come with a cool original inner sleeve. Tell us all about Dyna Groove, The Miracle Surface, Groove Guard. So that's it. Those are the records I've gotten here in the first part of June. It's been a great month so far, so everything's looking good. If you have any thoughts on those records, please let me know what you think about them. And yeah, that's it. Hope you're having a great day.